Here's your daily Premier League news and transfer window update with me, Harry Scarfe, football content creator and YouTuber. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're keeping well, and thank you, Chris Callan, for this opportunity. Appreciate you coming in today. Let's go through your headlines in the first part of the video and dissect them and give my opinions in the second part. So firstly, Caelan Cole Caminati leaves Sheffield Wednesday to join Manchester City's academy. Under-16 talent completes his move to Man City after a 5-step process was approved by the Premier League. Fabrizio Romano reports that Bayern Munich are set to bid again for Liverpool winger Luis Diaz in order to find an agreement with Liverpool. He's their top target. Exclusive update is that Malik Fofana has been added to the shortlist. Liverpool won't sell Diaz. Bayern have already made contact to ask for final deal conditions. Fabrizio Romano reports that Atletico Madrid have now made direct contact with Ronald Vega's camp, and the player is keen on the move to the Spanish club. Chelsea insist on a package worth at least €40 million to sell Vega, where Atletico Madrid are prepared to advance in negotiations. Fabrizio Romano reports that Hugo Ekitike to Liverpool. Here we go, deal in place for fee over €90 million for the French striker to join from Eintracht Frankfurt, potentially reaching €95 million with add-ons. 6-year deal for Ekitike, valid until June 2031. He only ever wanted the Liverpool move. New striker for Arne Slot. Fabrizio Romano reports that Nottingham Forest submit their first official bid to Bologna for Daniel Dye as a main target at winger position. The Dye already said yes to Nottingham Forest project, and talks club to club will now start with Bologna. It's now up to the Italian side. Forest are now pushing to get the deal done. Fabrizio Romano reports that Amadou Laurenti's move to Sunderland has collapsed after the player travelled for medical and signature on Saturday. The deal is off with the Sassuolo winger who's due to return to Italy now, so the deal completely off. Fabrizio Romano reports that Brian Mbeumo is at Carrington for his move to Manchester United, which is expected to be sealed shortly. Fabrizio Romano reports that Evan Ferguson will land in Roma later to sign in as new AS Roma player from Brighton. It's a loan deal with a €40 million buy option clause confirmed. Fabrizio Romano reports that Victor Gyökeres maintains his clear position despite links with Manchester United and more clubs. He only wants Arsenal. Total priority is to the Arsenal project since June, and no change of plans, with agent on the same page as Gyökeres. Fabrizio Romano reports that Brian Mbeumo has just signed his 5-year deal plus option at Manchester United. Medical completed, and Mbeumo can now be considered a Manchester United player after a long saga. Fabrizio Romano says, talking about Man United, he understands Manchester United have made initial contact to be informed on deal conditions for 23-year-old goalkeeper Senna Lemans. Royal Antwerp's goalkeeper remains among the names on Manchester United's list if they decide to go for a new goalkeeper this summer. Dibu Martinez is also an option, but deemed more expensive. Fabrizio Romano reports that Barcelona have sealed all the documents of the Marcus Rashford deal set to land in Spain now. He understands that Barcelona will pay €14 million gross as salary coverage plus bonuses linked to appearances. Marcus Rashford takes a 15% pay cut, and Manchester United will not cover his salary. €30 million buy option for June 2026. Decent. Fabrizio Romano reports that on James Trafford and the Man City exclusive story that he understands Trafford has accepted to return to Manchester City if the two clubs reach an agreement. He's keen on the move back to Manchester City. City are in talks with Burnley to reduce the £40 million buyback clause agreed in his contract. Deal still depends on Manchester City's goalkeeper exits. Either one of Edison or Ortega will have to leave. Fabrizio Romano reports that Marcus Rashford is due to land in Barcelona very shortly after formal authorisation from Manchester United earlier. Deal 100% done. Fabrizio Romano reports that Manchester City are aware of Galatasaray in talks with Edison over personal terms, but Man City have still not received any official bid and no formal proposal on the table at this stage. Fabrizio Romano reports that Federico Chiesa has left out the Liverpool squad for the pre-season tour as he's expected to leave this summer. Luis Diaz is not part of the squad for the friendly game, but regularly included in the squad for the pre-season tour. Fabrizio Romano reports that Evan Ferguson has landed in Roma in order to sign in as new AS Roma player from Brighton. €3 million loan fee, €37 million buy option clause, not mandatory for Ferguson, has been approved by Brighton, and Marcus Rashford has landed in Barcelona since for his move to FC Barcelona. So those are your headlines. Let's go through them. So Bayern are not giving up around Luis Diaz. They're very insistent on that. Looks like he wants to leave Liverpool, but I back Bayern to get that done out of anyone else because it seems like Bayern have more cash in hand, more money to spend at the moment. Vega, I think it's a huge possibility. He does go back to Atletico Madrid. Weird signing for Chelsea in terms of he's never really got a game. I'm surprised by the players that they are looking to sell. Having said that, €40 million would be a very good deal. Hugo to TK, one that's really blown up, looked like he's going to Newcastle. All of a sudden, he's absolutely going to go to Liverpool. So that is really interesting. Forest pushing to get deals done, maybe preparing if Morgan Gibbs White does leave the club. Interesting that Amadou Laurenti's move to Sunderland was going to be for about €20 million, has collapsed completely. We don't know the reasons why. Mbama as well, just looks like he's waiting for the announcement of Man United. That's a big signing, to be fair. On the Evan Ferguson deal, I don't know who's got a better deal here. So Fabrizio Romano says here, loan deal with €40 million buy option clause confirmed. Then later on, he goes on to say €37 million buy option, €3 million loan fee. So it depends on who's covering the wage, I suppose, from a Brighton point of view, because they could not. This is like buy option is not mandatory, so that is the shame for Brighton. So probably a good deal for all parties. Chiesa being left out of the Liverpool squad is interesting. I thought it was a really big signing, but he's never got an opportunity at Liverpool. I'd love to know why. Ederson linked with Galatasaray. I can see him making a move away from the Premier League side this season, but again, it's got to be the right offer. He won't come cheap. Rashford as well, moved to Barcelona. Makes sense if you're Man United. If he won't pay any of his salary, it just makes total sense on loan as well. James Trafford, will he go back to Manchester City? It looks like Ortega Ederson will have to leave. Ederson looks the more likely at the moment. That'd be a good bit of business. But if I'm Percy Trafford, I want to stay in Burnley and be their number one. If that's me, just being promoted rather than a 2 or 3 and Man City, but that's just the way I view it. Maybe they have different plans for him. I don't quite know. We'll have to see. Grokeres looks like he still wants Arsenal, so I expect that to go through. It's taken a long while. I think Arsenal have been quite difficult with that one. Again, time will tell, but those are your headlines. There's not that many, and those are my opinions. So that is your daily Premier League roundup and transfer window update, including my opinions with me, Harry Scarfe, football content creator and YouTuber. Please drop me a follow at Harry Scarfe22 on social media. Also check out my own YouTube channel, Harry Scarfe, which contains my very own podcast too, the Scarfe Spurs podcast. But like and subscribe here to Chris Callen's channel. I'm a proud regular here. I want to thank him for this opportunity. I want to thank you for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, and make sure you come back tomorrow for your daily Premier League roundup and transfer window update.